My other plan today was to go and do a deep dive into Dusk Bloods, because I want to talk about that. I feel like nobody is talking about Dusk Bloods, but the Dusk Bloods, that like there's a number of videos on it and breakdowns on it, which is really interesting. One of the most interesting comments, and I felt representative comments I saw though, was this one, where this guy just says, Miyazaki is cooking and we're locked out of the kitchen. Because apparently in the also a great picture of a cobra with a top hat. Apparently a lot of people in the like FromSoft Soulsborne community are still conflicted over whether they're going to buy a Switch 2 for the Dusk Bloods. And I just find it so fascinating that this is a game from one of the most prolific and accomplished developers in the industry, but it's a console exclusive to a console that very few, as far as I can tell, of the core FromSoft fan base actually have. It's very interesting to me. Like it could end up being, Dusk Bloods could end up being like the Elden Ring of 2026. It could end up being that big of a thing. Never doubt FromSoftware. It could end up being huge. It's the next Miyazaki game after all. Like he knows what he's doing. But it's got this huge asterisk next to it where in order to play it, you gotta buy a $550 console or 500, I don't remember what it is now. And because it's an online game, you also have to sign up for a Nintendo Online subscription. And I genuinely do not know how that goes. Because I do this for a living and I hate the idea of that. I hate the idea that it's a console exclusive and it requires the paid online membership. It just doesn't sound good, right? I'll just pirate and emulate. I genuinely, maybe you guys know, because I honestly don't know. If with a game like this, which is built for multiplayer co-op, do emulators do that? Do emulators like support online co-op for a game like this? I'm sure you could probably set up like a peer-to-peer thing. I see an indeed, sir, and then not at all. Peer-to-peer, probably, yeah. Yeah, peer-to-peer. Yeah, I think that's the only way you could do it, which honestly would probably work better than the Nintendo one, because I've heard horror stories of how bad the Nintendo one is. But we'll see. I mean, it's just, man, it's a tough sell. Because again, the Nintendo Switch 2 right now, like there's not a whole lot. Okay, the bundle is $500. The console is down at $450. Okay, that's better than I was braced for. But like, it's not a game with a lot of Soulsborne games on it. I think the vast majority of the Soulsborne community is on PC or console, and so I think that they're gonna have to buy this. And then I think the online is what? Is it $30 for the year? I want to say $8 a month or 30 for the year or 60 for the year or something. Assuming they don't raise the prices. Because the whole reason I think that they paid who knows how much money to get access to this game as an exclusive. I think the whole reason they did that was to try and buff the Nintendo Online subscription. And so I think that they're probably going to investigate price hikes for the Nintendo Online membership right before this comes out. And I'm sure it's going to be very good, but like Nintendo didn't pay ungodly amounts of money to make this exclusive just for like the fun of it. They did it to try and get something out of it. And I think it's not just selling consoles, but I think it's also like buffing their online subscription. Nintendo Online is like 30 to 35 a year. Yeah, and people coming off of like PC gaming, they're not going to love that. So that ends up being like $480. This, let's be honest, is probably an $80 game. Nintendo said that they only want to do that for their like top AAA stuff, which was, as of so far, it's been Mario Kart World. But that would put it at $480 for the console and the online membership. You probably are going to need a pro controller for something like this that's very input dependent, but that's not necessary. You could use Joy-Cons, but you probably want a pro controller, which is like another 80 or 90. So that takes you to like, let's just say 570. And then you need the game, which is probably another 80, which takes you like 650. And like, I get it. FromSoft is amazing. Miyazaki does great, but like 650? Is the pro controller really 100? Dude, I don't even know anymore. Will the average FromSoft gamer care $650 worth? And that I just genuinely am so curious to see. Because they might. A lot of these people, these are like the only games they're playing. But The fact that it's also multiplayer based, I think will be something a lot of people will latch onto to probably justify not getting it. I think a lot of people will be like, if it were basically Elden Ring 2, yeah, but because it's multiplayer, I'm good. I have Night Rain on PC or PS5 or whatever, so I'll just do that. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Just playing Night Rain, I think a lot of people will do that, yeah. That might have been part of the strategy of Night Rain too, was to put that out so that people would have an alternative just in case. Yeah, Elden Ring creators looking to multiplayer games like Escape from Tarkov for inspiration. I don't know. My thing is, again, and I think maybe Wednesday we'll go and we'll look at the whole Vata video from 7 months ago talking about it. But I think it's going to be fascinating to see kind of how it settles. But I really do wonder how that goes. My gut says $650 minimum, not minimum, I guess $570 would be minimum, assuming you're not buying a Pro controller. But around $600 for one game, that game's got to be pretty damn good. Like if it reviews like Elden Ring, then all bets are off. I think it becomes literally a console seller. But if it's not, if it ends up being kind of a Night Rain review situation where it's like reviewing well, it's like a B+ type game, then I think it's very curious to see how it ends up. So we'll do a deep dive on it. We'll just wait to emulate it. I think a lot of people probably will. And I'm sure Nintendo is aware of that too. And they are going to be prepared to do all sorts of stuff. I think they'll probably try doing all sorts of like major make an example of this person thing like they've done before when people have been emulating, and there's been companies that try to offer emulation services and stuff. I think they'll go shut down the company and send cease and desists to people using it, and it's going to be a thing. It's going to be a whole thing. So we'll deep dive it, don't worry. Sounds like Brokey Boy talk. Dude, I can't wait for that. Remember Suicide Squad for a $70 multiplayer game? There were people calling each other brokies for not wanting to spend $70 on it. Imagine the level this will reach. Like Soulsborne, FromSoft stuff can be toxic by itself sometimes, but man, just wait until there's like a $650 price point attached to it. It's going to be funny. So we'll see. FromSoftware is also working on a single player game. Yeah, no, they to be clear, they're not like fully transitioning to online stuff. At least as far as we can tell. But yeah, they are working on multiple different projects. They now have like 400 plus employees. They've grown a lot. I think they're like 25 to 35% bigger than they were when Elden Ring launched. So they've hired a lot. They've grown a lot. But seemingly they've grown a lot to also maintain and grow live service projects as well. And personally, for me, I want the single player stuff. I want their Elden Rings. I want their Dark Souls, their Sekiros. I want those games. I'm not that into the Night Rain vibe, you know? But to be fair, I've been playing Elden Ring seamless co-op mod, and that is fire. So maybe if they can get basically Elden Ring 2, but they work on it to get it so it supports like full seamless co-op officially, that could be fire too. Yeah, Night Rain is weird because it's dependent on expansions to add new content, which they're doing. I think in December is the first one, and then they have another one slated for next year. So they're not doing like monthly updates or anything like that, but it is it's an online multiplayer game. So it's kind of a hybrid. December 4th. I was thinking the 6th for some reason, but yeah, December 4th. That sounds right. I need Night Rain or Duskbloods to have split screen. Dude, that would be fire. That'd be cool. Night Rain came and went. I don't actually know where it's at right now. I don't actually know. Oh, they got 12,000 in game. I mean, back when it dropped at launch, it went to 313. I was so off on this one. People, Luke, when have you been wrong? Many times. But this was probably like the biggest one most recently. I did not think it was going to blow up this big, but it exploded, dude. Lots of people played it.